Well, we've been going through some tough times, but I know we're not the only ones. The emails and the things I see on so many of the videos out here is just heart-wrenching, the things that you all are going through in your lives, things that take such an emotional toll. This is what God is teaching me in our trial. And it's something I kind of had an intellectual grasp on, but it's coming at me from all sides right now. And it's something I'm beginning to get kind of not just a heart knowledge, but like a full operational knowledge of. 2 Corinthians 5:7 says we walk by faith and not by sight. And that walk, when we walk, it's step by step. It's step by step. Psalm 119:105 says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." Again, this is a light, not a spotlight, not a flashlight, not a headlight. This is a lamp you held in front of you, and you had just enough light for your next step. Just enough for your next step. Matthew 6:11, the prayer says, "Give us this day our daily bread." The bread is not a week's worth of bread or a month's worth of bread. It's a day's worth of bread. As I was reading George Mueller's autobiography, he was an evangelist in the 1800s, and George Mueller set up a very large orphanage with no money, depending entirely on God for that money to come in through the saints, and he never made that known. He never at a church service said, "We need this many shillings or this many pounds to meet our monthly bills." He never announced it to anybody. But God provided and grew it and grew it and grew it till it was a very large orphanage. I believe Paul Washer's ministry for the missionaries is based on the same premise. He does not make those needs known, and it's been funded strictly by God only knowing the needs and moving in the hearts of the saints to provide. Sometimes they didn't have enough to feed the orphans at dinner or enough coal for the fire, and literally at the last minute somebody moved by God would bring what they needed. It's going to be the same for us, especially as the last days are really becoming shorter. That it's going to be a step-by-step, minute-to-minute, looking to God for the day's bread, not the month's bread or the week bread, but the day's needs. James 1:2-4 says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse trials, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing." It's this faith that grows, the trials that grow our faith, that grow our patience, that grow our trust in God. In Acts 14, Paul was preaching in Antioch that we must go through many hardships or much tribulation to enter the kingdom of God. That's in Acts 14:22. We must go through many hardships and tribulation to enter the kingdom of God. That word translated hardships in most of the modern versions, or tribulation in the King James, it literally in the Greek means a pressure, a squeezing. You squeeze, just a distress. And that's what so many of us are going through. But it's been gone through by our brothers and sisters long before us, too. They had to enter the kingdom of God through many hardships. Hebrews 5:14 says that strong meat belongs to them that are full of age, even those who by reason have used their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. So the strong meat, not the milk of the word, but the meat of the word, in other words, belong to those who are mature, who have had their senses exercised to discern good and evil. To be mature in the word, we have to exercise our faith, and we can't shy away from the trials that are going to exercise our faith. And I think it's human nature to want to do that. I want to do that many times. My spirit doesn't, but my flesh sure does. The trials are for growing our faith in God's glory. He's growing our faith so He can better care for us and we can understand His provision. So we shouldn't run from our hardship, but embrace it, knowing Philippians 1:6 that he who began a good work in us will complete it unto the day of Jesus Christ. And 1 Thessalonians 5:14, faithful is he that calls us, who will also do it. God bless you all.